Welcome to Science Store online classes.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Dear students, welcome back to biology online classes. The chapter what we are discussing under CET NEET is biotechnology, principles and process. So take out the worksheet number 1. In the previous class we have discussed around 10 questions, and let's move to question number 11. An antibiotic resistance gene in a vector usually helps in the selection of A. competent cells, B. transformed cells, C. recombinant cells, D. none of the above. Antibiotic resistance gene in a vector usually helps in the selection of transformed cells. See, what do you mean by a competent cell? So, competent cells are those bacterial cells that are ready to take up the DNA. Those cells are called as the competent cells. Then what are transformed cells? Transformed cells are those cells who have already taken the vector. Okay, you have introduced a foreign gene into the vector, and those vector are taken up by the transformed cells. Okay, so transformed cells are those cells who have taken the vectors. Then what are recombinant cells? Recombinant cells means whose DNA has been manipulated, more precisely called recombinant DNA, whose DNA has been manipulated. How? By introducing a foreign gene. Now it becomes a recombinant gene, a recombinant DNA. So, those cells which are having recombinant DNA, they are called as recombinant cells. Now, what do you mean by antibiotic resistance gene? It is a selectable marker gene which helps in the selection of the transformed cells from the non-transformants. Now, with the help of these selectable markers, the cells carrying the vectors, that means the cells which are carrying the transformants, are easily distinguished from the non-transformants by selectively selecting, permitting the growth of the transformants. You have studied about the antibiotic resistance genes for two different antibiotics. One is ampicillin gene, another one is tetracycline gene. Those cells which are resistant to tetracycline antibiotic, they can grow on ampicillin medium, and those bacterial cells which are responsible for which are resistant for ampicillin can grow on tetracycline medium. So this is how you can differentiate between transformants and the non-transformants, which we have already discussed in our theory class. Okay. Next, we'll move to the question number 12. Significance of heat shock method in the bacterial transformation is to facilitate A. binding of the DNA to the cell wall. B. uptake of the DNA through the membrane transport proteins. C. uptake of DNA through the transient pores in the bacterial cell wall. D. expression of antibiotic resistance gene. Now, what do you mean by heat shock proteins? What is the function of these heat shock proteins? So, heat shock method you have studied in the presence of bivalent cation. For example, calcium. Calcium is a bivalent, Ca2 plus urate, because it has got two valence electrons in its outermost shell. So, its valence is plus 2. So, bivalent cation, for example, a calcium, it creates a transient pore in the cell wall of the bacteria, allowing the uptake of the foreign DNA into the medium. So, what is the correct answer? The correct answer is uptake of DNA through transient pores in the bacterial cell wall, that is option C. Move to question number 13. The role of DNA ligase in the construction of a recombinant DNA molecule is, what is the function of DNA ligase? L is missing, write down the L there. A. Formation of phosphodiester bond between two DNA fragments. B. Formation of hydrogen bonds between sticky ends of DNA fragments. C. Ligation of all purines and pyrimidine bases. D. None of the above. Okay, now see this question, question number 13. The role of DNA ligase in the construction of a recombinant DNA molecule is the formation of phosphodiester bond between the two DNA fragments. We have already discussed this. Okay, next question number 14. Now, formation of the hydrogen bonds, where it will take place between the purines and the pyrimidines, between the two DNA strands, correct? Okay, then which of the following bacteria is not a source of restriction endonuclease? Haemophilus influenzae, Escherichia coli, Agarobacterium tumefaciens, Bacillus amyloli. The right answer is Agarobacterium tumefaciens. So, it is the pathogen for many of the dicot plants. So, it delivers a piece of the DNA known as tDNA, okay, in the TI plasmid, tumor inducing plasmid, which transforms the normal cells into the tumor cells to produce the chemicals against the pathogen. So, the restriction enzyme EcoR1, Escherichia coli restriction 1, type 1, is isolated from the E. coli RY13 strain. So, the first restriction enzyme, that is the HIND2, Haemophilus influenzae 2, was isolated from the bacterium Haemophilus influenzae. I am explaining all the options. So, the restriction enzyme BAMH1 is isolated from Bacillus amyloli. So, the right option is the Agarobacterium tumefaciens, which can induce the tumor and restrict the growth of other plant pathogens. Okay. Next, question number 15. Which of the following steps are catalyzed by the Taq polymerase in a PCR reaction? Thermus aquaticus is a bacterium from which you obtain this particular enzyme, Taq polymerase. A. Denature of template DNA, annealing of primers to template DNA. C. Extension of primer and primer end on the template DNA. D. All of the above. Which step is catalyzed by this particular enzyme in the polymerase chain reaction, PCR? Now, extension of primer end on the template DNA is the right answer, because here PCR, that is nothing but the short form polymerase chain reaction, which is the phenomena which used for the amplification of the part specific region of DNA as per our interest. You want to extend a particular DNA of your interest, then you go for polymerase chain reaction. As the name indicates, it extends the length of the segment of DNA or a desired gene. So Taq polymerase is the enzyme that attaches the nucleotides together and helps in the extension of a primer. Primer is nothing but a small oligonucleotide chain, okay, of having around 6 to 15 nucleotide sequence. So this primer, so the primer extensioning help ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ this enzyme, okay, end on the template DNA. That primer has to be extend on the template DNA. So the correct answer is the extension of the primer end on the template DNA. So that is option C. Next we will move to question number 16. A bacterial cell wall was transformed with a recombinant DNA that was generated using a human gene. However, the transformed cells did not produce the desired protein. Reasons could be very simple, because the human genes may have introns which bacteria cannot process, option 1. So you have heard about the splicing. Any nucleotide sequence in a gene that is removed by the splicing, RNA splicing during the maturation of final RNA product is called as the introns. There are intervening sequences. But bacterial system does not possess the ability to splice the RNA, means to remove the introns to produce the mRNA. So hence the translation could not take place and the protein is not produced. So the right answer is the human gene may have intron which bacteria cannot process. Question number 17. Which of the following should be chosen for best yield if one were to produce a recombinant protein in large amounts? A. Laboratory flask of largest capacity. B. Stir tank bioreactor without inlets and outlets. Continuous culture system. Any of the above. Any of the above, depending upon the requirements and the material and the apparatus available. During the production of recombinant proteins, any of the material and apparatus mentioned in the options can be used. Next, question number 18. Who among the following was awarded the Nobel Prize for development of PCR technique? Who has been awarded with the Nobel Prize? There is an American scientist, American biochemist, whose name is Kary Mullis, shared the Nobel Prize with Michael Smith, who has invented the PCR. Okay. Then what is the work of Hargobind Khorana? He was Hargobind Khorana was an Indo-American biochemist, the first to demonstrate the role of nucleotides in protein synthesis. First to demonstrate the role of nucleotides in protein synthesis. That is the work of Hargobind Khorana. Arthur Kornberg, he is an American biochemist, won the Nobel Prize for Physiology in Medicine in the year 1959 for his discovery of mechanism in the biological synthesis of DNA, together with Severo Ochoa of New York University. I repeat, Arthur Kornberg is an American biochemist, won the Nobel Prize for Physiology in Medicine in the year 1959 for his discovery of mechanism in the biological synthesis of DNA, together with Severo Ochoa of New York University. Then what is the work of Herbert Boyer? You know the work of Herbert Boyer and Stanley Cohen. They made the first genetic engineering experiment in the year 1973. They made the first genetic engineering experiment in the year 1973. They demonstrated that the gene for frog rRNA, means ribosomal RNA, the gene for the frog rRNA could be transferred into the bacterial cell and expressed by them. Frog rRNA can be introduced into the bacterial cell and it can be expressed. It was given by Stanley Cohen and Herbert Boyer. So they were the first to conduct the genetic experiment. So that is about question number 18. Next we will move to the question number 19. Which of the following statements does not hold true for restriction enzyme? A. It recognizes a palindrome nucleotide sequence. B. It is an endonuclease. C. It is isolated from the virus, or it produces the same kind of sticky ends in different DNA molecules. Which of the following statements does not hold good for restriction enzyme? It can recognize a palindrome sequence. Students, you know what are palindrome sequence? I have explained already all these concepts in the theory. Palindrome sequence, which when read from both the sides will give the same sequence of the nucleotide. For example, there is a word called as Malayalam. If you read from both sides, right or left sides, it will not alter the letters Malayalam. Madam, okay, M-A-D-A-M. From both the sides you read, it will be madam only. Such sequences can be recognized by the restriction enzyme. For example, GATTC. GATTC. Correct, no? So GATT. GAATTC. See, for example, 5' to 3' direction. Here from 3' to 5' if you write, then it will become C, then T, then again this is T, then A, C, G. So, it can recognize a palindrome sequence and it will cut at the specific sites called as the recognition sites and can expose the sticky ends. So, it is an endonuclease. So, it is also the right answer. It produces the same kind of sticky ends in different DNA molecules. That is also correct. But it is isolated from the virus. That is wrong, because restriction enzymes are the endonucleases that cleave the phosphodiester bond in the DNA backbone. So, they are used in genetic engineering techniques to isolate the specific segments of the DNA. These are obtained from the bacteria. Example is EcoR1. EcoR1. So, it is obtained from the bacteria. They are not isolated from the viruses. So, the option C, it is isolated from the viruses, is the incorrect option. Next, question number 20. The term Southern blotting refers to A. Transfer of DNA fragments from in vitro cellulose membrane to the electrophoresis gel. B. Attachment of probes to the DNA fragments. C. Transfer of DNA fragments from electrophoresis gel to the nitrocellulose sheet. D. Comparison of DNA fragments from two sources. Now, what is Southern blotting technique and why it is used? Southern blotting technique is used to detect the specific DNA sequence in the given sample of the DNA. So, the first step in the Southern blot is to prepare the DNA mixture by breaking it into very small fragments using the restriction enzyme. Then the mixture of DNA fragments is separated according to the size by using gel electrophoresis. That is the next step. Then the double stranded piece of DNA are denatured into the single strands of single stranded piece. Okay, that is single strands within this gel. After that, next the DNA is transferred from the gel onto a blotting membrane called as the nitrocellulose membrane. You call it as the blot transfer of the DNA. So the DNA is labeled using then radioisotope probes can be detected by autoradiography. So thus the correct answer is transfer of the DNA fragments from electrophoresis gel to the nitrocellulose sheet. So that is the Southern blotting refers. Blot transfer. So C is the right option. So students, we have completed around 10 different questions in the today's session, and take down the lecture notes, and we'll come with more questions in our next session. So thank you students for watching the video.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.